According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, school buses are the safest mode of transportation to and from school for children. The issue of whether or not to require seatbelts on school buses has been discussed over and over for many years. While being recommended that new school buses have seatbelts on them, at the federal level, it is not actually a requirement. The National Conference of State Legislation writes that 6 states, California, Florida, Louisiana, New Jersey, New York, and Texas, require seatbelts on school buses, subject to funding and school district action, and that at least 32 states and Puerto Rico have considered legislation to require seatbelts on school buses since 2007. This means that while they have a requirement to make sure there are seatbelts on buses in those states, it is subject to funding in each district. Potentially, if there is no money for the seatbelts, there are none. Every year, hundreds of thousands of school buses transport more than 25 million children to and from school, according to the American School Bus Council. That number represents about 50% of the K-12 population. School buses travel approximately 5.7 billion miles annually and are designed to be safer than passenger vehicles in avoiding crashes and preventing injury. In fact, school buses are the safest mode of transportation for children to get to and from school. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, on average, only 6 student passengers die in school crashes each year, compared to approximately 2,000 children who are killed in motor vehicle crashes annually. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also reports that there were 1,282 deaths of all ages and 281 deaths of school-aged children from school transportation-related crashes from 2007 to 2016. The chart here shows the total school bus occupant and pedestrian fatalities in school transportation-related crashes by age group between 2004 and 2013, with the green bars, seen here, representing the actual occupants of the school buses, and the orange bars seen here representing pedestrians. The under 5 years old age group, seen here, had 2 fatalities, whereas the age group of 8 to 13 years old had 23 fatalities. This chart does not include the more recent crashes that have prompted the new recommendations requiring all seatbelts on school buses. According to the New York Times, seatbelts are required in some cases, but not all. Smaller school buses weighing 10,000 pounds or less are required to have lap shoulder belts under federal motor vehicle safety standards. There has been a long-running debate over whether school buses are safer with seatbelts, though there has not been too much data collected on the issue. In general, school buses are considered very safe. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, larger school buses, by design, are safer than passenger cars because they are heavier and come outfitted with strong, closely spaced seats that offer crash protection even without seatbelts. Not only are seatbelts helping with safety, but the National Conference of State Legislation reports that some school districts have reported improved student behavior on school buses with seatbelts, with the Bartholomew Consolidated School Corporation of Columbus, Indiana, experiencing 90 to 95% fewer write-ups for misbehaving students. The National Transportation Safety Board concluded that current compartmentalization is incomplete and that it does not protect school bus passengers during lateral impacts with vehicles of large mass and in rollovers, because in such accidents, passengers do not always remain completely within the seating compartment, and it's for that reason that some safety advocates have argued that seatbelts are necessary on school buses. According to abcnews.com, this year, for the first time, the National Transportation Safety Board is recommending all new school buses be equipped with lap and shoulder seatbelts, after the agency released findings from a special investigation report prompted by 2 deadly 2016 crashes. The National Transportation Safety Board recommended that 42 states that don't require lap and shoulder belts on large school buses add such a requirement. It is also recommended 4 other states upgrade the requirements from lap-only belts to lap and shoulder belts. To the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the National Transportation Safety Board recommended that it require all new school buses to be equipped also with collision avoidance systems and automatic emergency braking technologies. It has taken 2 high-fatality school bus accidents for the National Transportation Safety Board to recommend that all buses be required to have seatbelts. And that is just a recommendation. It is not even law. If we are required to wear seatbelts in our own personal vehicles, the same should go for our children while they are being transported. While the school bus industry has long debated mandatory seatbelts on school buses for reasons including uncertainty of its actual benefit in ensuring and increasing safety and evacuation concerns, with the requirements of seatbelts, even if one child's life is saved, isn't it worth it?